Good morning, everyone. I hope you're having a great day. How are you doing? Let me know in the comments. And we have a bright, sunshiny day here today, so I hope it's going to be a good day. And today is Casing Tuesday, and that's the day when we take a card out of the catalog and we give it a makeover. So today's card, pull it up here. This is today's card, and don't let all those circles scare you. Hopefully you have some circle dies in your arsenal, and if you do, if you have some nesting circle dies, this card will be actually fairly easy for you to create. And if you don't, say you don't have circles, say you're just starting out, when you're starting out, pretty much if you're a paper crafter, you have to have a trimmer. There's really no two ways about it. You need a paper cutter in some shape or fashion. So if you don't have circles, cut yourself some squares or rectangles, or use another shape and use that to build all of the pieces of the card. I actually really liked this particular layout. I like it when there's lots of layers on the card because I like to plug and play. And I decided that I was going to play with designer series paper today. So that is the card, and this is the sketch that was derived from the card. And this is just to kind of give you an idea of the different sizes of circles that were used. You don't have to use these exact sizes. Play around. Some shapes might be better for your card, your images, or whatever. This is just an idea to give you kind of somewhat of an idea of the size of all of the circles, but don't feel like you have to use those exact sizes. Okay, I'm gonna hide these and I'm gonna show you my card. So last night as I was designing this card, I was like, whoa, what am I gonna do? I took a quick look at the sketch and I'm like, the thing that immediately came to mind was designer series paper, because designer series paper is super easy, and the only stamped image on this card is my greeting, the thank you greeting. But the focal point image here, the little bird, that comes right out of the paper, and all the other circles are paper. You can see they're all paper, not even cardstock, that come from that same paper. That paper is called Flight and Airy, and it is a celebration reward. And celebration is, you can, for every $50 or $100 you spend, Stampin' Up! Is going to let you choose a gift for yourself at checkout, and this is one of the papers that you can choose, and I think it's the most pretty paper, and it actually has been very popular among my customers, and it's just like really gorgeous images in these paper. It's a 12 by 12 pack, and you get 2 of each of the sheets. I've already cut some of these up, so just look at those birds. They're just so pretty. One side tends to have birds on it, and the other side has kind of like a watercolor wash, or it has like a pattern like this one. But it's just very easy to take this paper and use it as your focal point layer, and then just build everything else around it. So I really love this paper. But I was just thinking, you could do this card the way I did my card with designer series paper with almost any other designer series paper. You just pick the largest circle, pick the paper that you want to feature. You know, sometimes it has an image, or maybe it's a floral paper, maybe it's got some really brilliant colors. That will be your focal layer, and then you'll pick patterns of paper that support that layer, and you know, maybe not compete with it. So you probably want the most vibrant layer to be featured. So I would just want to show you back to my card. I only have one layer that has a picture on it. The rest of them are either watercolor washes or have a very subtle pattern to them, because I don't want anything to compete with this layer. And that's why this card works well, because you focus in on the bird and then maybe the thank you and then the bow, but everything kind of works together in harmony. So that's one way to build this card, but there's so many different ways to do that. And we have a Facebook group, so you can go over to the Facebook group and see what are other people doing with this layout, and see maybe they've stamped an image and colored it, or there's just different ways that you could handle all of these circles on the card. So you'll get to see what they do, and then you can share what you do if you want to on our little Facebook group. And all the links for anything I talk about today are down below in the description of the video, so be sure to check that out if you have any questions. So I also have a host code going for the month of February. I have one every month, but here is February's host code. Let me move this up just a bit so you can see it a bit better. And if you use this host code and spend $50 with me in February, you will be getting, where are these? You will be getting some of these beautiful shiny sequins. And I did use sequins on the card. These are a different type of sequin. These ones, they're all adhesive back. So you don't have to put any adhesive on. They all have little dots on the back that stick them to the card automatically. So you don't have to get out any other adhesive. But these are the ones that I have, and I believe those shiny sequins will be very, very similar to that. And that will be a gift that will be mailed out by me in March. So use the host code, spend $50, and you'll get this gift up here. All right, I am going to make these disappear, and there's lots of people joining me this morning. We'll talk to you all at the end, and let me know how you're doing. I am going to switch over to my other camera, and we will build this card right now. Okay, let's move the Flight and Airy paper out of the way. I'm also using, these are the circle dies I'm using, the Stylish Shapes dies. They're a good choice. There's also these ones right here. These are also a good choice, Deckled Circles dies. So you can use whatever circles you would like to build your card, or use a different shape too. All right, we are going to need to do a lot of die cutting. So, and some embossing. We're going to be using that Stamp and Cut and Emboss machine a lot. I think let's do all the embossing and die cutting first, and we're going to have to die cut this shape. So let's stamp that first. I've got some basic white here. I've got my Blueberry Bushel ink pad. I'm matching the cardstock color here. And I'm going to grab Thank You, and this comes from, I have a little stack right here. I was trying to decide where to grab my greeting from last night, so I pulled a bunch of stamp sets, and I have a little stack there. I used the Thank You from Something Fancy, and I'm just going to ink this up right here and stamp it in this little spot right here. And then we'll make sure that we die cut it along with all the other circles we need to die cut, and we need to do some embossing. So let's pop that away. I love cards that use designer series paper because they're so easy. You know, we don't always have to invent everything every time or stamp something. Designer series paper is wonderful for that. Okay, let me grab all the things that I need. We're going to need the base plate, the number 1. We are going to need the thin die adapter number 2, and we're going to need 2 cutting plates. One goes on the bottom. So we are going to cut some circles, and I've got some paper kind of cut into strips already. So I kind of decided what paper I was going to use and what sizes, and then I just cut them to the correct width. So the most important layer is this focal point layer. So let's grab our circles. Need to figure out which circle I used. Okay, it's the largest circle that I used. So you can decide, like, okay, do I want to cut this little bird down here? Do I want to cut this one? Or how about this one right here? I'm going to cut the top of that bird's head off there. So, you know, you can just decide. I think this time I'm going to use this one right here. Maybe shift it a little bit over to this side so I have room for my greeting to nest in there. So I just want to make sure right about there, I think we'll do. I'll pop that down there. I'm going to do this one first because this one matters. I'm going to roll through. Let's grab that layer. So there's my cute little bird. So pretty. And all of this paper has birds on the back, so don't feel you're going to run out of birds. There's lots of them. Then I'm going to switch to my second largest circle. And we're going to do this watercolor wash in this one. And then actually I can run two of them at the same time. So I'm going to take this one here and grab the third largest circle. We'll run those two at the same time. Put this back. Oh, I shifted. So sometimes it's good to tape these down. When I brought this in and I gave it a little push, it shifted my circles. So just make sure they are actually where you want them to be before you run them through. That's why it helps to have a clear plate so you can see if that happens. All right. We'll just pop these over here. So we're grabbing our little circles. And then we just have to do this one. And we're going to do this one. And yeah, I could have cut these down a little bit more, but last night I just was kind of like, I'm going to cut them to the width that I need, and then we'll just work it from there. So yeah, I could have made these smaller, but sometimes you just are, that's the way my brain was working last night. Okay, so I do need to find my little greeting. Where did it go? Aha, right here. Okay, and then you're going to choose a circle that works for that greeting. I think it's this one. Nope, that's too big. We'll go one size smaller. So this one's the second smallest. And so I'm going to look at the circle, and the edges of the words are going to just touch the inner part of that circle. And that should get that centered, because there is a little bit of an edging on that, so it should still look good. I'm being careful not to shift this as I bring this through. You could use, if you're ever worried about shifting, you can use labeling and cover-up tape. It's like the top of a Post-it note, and you can just help stick your thing in place so it doesn't shift, and then you just peel it off afterwards. Or you can use the top of a Post-it note if you'd like. And there is the little thank you all cut out. So we're working right along, and then we're going to come down to this number 1 plate, because we're done with our die cutting. And we'll get rid of the number 2 plate for now, the thin die adapter. And we're going to come in, this is a piece of a 5.5 by 4 1/4 blueberry bushel. And we're going to use one of the Basics 3D embossing folders. And I'm just going to pop this piece in there. and close it up. And we'll run this through. Same sandwich as before, I think. Oh no, wait. Wrong, sorry. This isn't a regular embossing folder. Wait, whenever you feel the machine being tight, you're going to rethink. Get rid of your clear plates. I'm just gonna grab this plate. This is the, it's not labeled. Oh yes, it is. Number 4 plate. This is the thick, for thick embossing folders. Okay, because this is a 3D embossing folder. We're not gonna use any of the clear plates. We're on the sandwiches, the base platform, your embossing folder with a cardstock. Remember, this is a 3D embossing folder. And then you're gonna use the number 4 plate on top. And then we're gonna roll this through. That's the correct sandwich. I was like wondering, why does that not feel right? I forgot. We have regular embossing folders that are thinner, and those ones use the 2 clear plates and the number 1. But this one's a thick one. So this just gives you kind of a subtle, oh, can't really see it in my light today. I've got a lot of sunlight coming in my room, so I blocked off the sunlight with the blinds, and now you can't see my texture, but you can kind of get an idea of what the texture is if I hold up the embossing folder. It's a very subtle texture, works really well in the background, and I felt like it kind of, my card needed a little something. It wasn't quite, didn't have quite enough oomph. So like I just decided, you know, I don't know if you can't even see the difference. Oh yeah, maybe you can a little bit. As I hold up to the camera, you can see my smooth card base on the left here, and you can see the one with the embossing folder on the right. And that just adds just a teeny tiny bit of interest to the card. So that's what I want. Okay, so we've got a lot of circles. Put them over here. Get rid of some of this paper. And we've got our card base. Let me talk about the card base. I haven't talked about it yet. This is Blueberry Bushel. It was 11 inches by 4 1/4, and I scored it at the 5.5 inch mark. It matches this piece that I just embossed, but I kind of like to do my embossing on a separate piece of cardstock so it doesn't show through to the inside. And now I'm just going to line this up on my card front and push this down. All right. So then you're just going to take your circles and see, I just want to show you, if I used more things that had images on it, you know, this layer right here would not pop at all. So you want to use neutral circles in your background to support this image. So we're just going to pop these circles behind here. And they all have colors, because it's all the same paper, they all have colors that are supported in this image. So they kind of make this one pop. So you just have to kind of decide where you want your circles, and you can follow my pattern exactly if you like. So you kind of just spread those out and try and figure out how you want them. So the way I glue these down, because this can be a little bit tricky, is I take the circle that's on the bottom and I pull it out, leave everything laid out, put a little bit of glue on the back, and then I kind of lift up and slide it under everything. And I just kind of say, okay, that looks like about where I want it, and then I'll press it down. Okay, then I'll take another circle like this one that's on top of it, and we'll add glue to this one. So I'm keeping everything in place. That way I kind of have a way to decide where everything needs to be. And I'm just kind of shifting this just until I decide, okay, that looks good. And I press that down. So then this circle here is now on the bottom. And I'm going to grab that and just add Tombow to it. And then slide that in here and just kind of decide, okay, I want this right about here, right about there. Okay. And then this one. Slide it in. Bring it down just maybe a little bit. Okay, that's good. So now I've got all those circles layered. We'll find a spot for this one. And then I'm just also going to layer this one on here just to decide, okay, where is that going to land? Does that look good right about there? So kind of equal distance on here and here. So we'll just grab this one now and add that. And I can kind of just hold this. Okay, let's see. That looks good. And then we'll press that down into place. And this little guy, we're going to come in and we'll add some dimensionals to the back here. Take those off. All right, and now we'll need a bow. I'm going to take my bow maker, and this ribbon is the Night of Navy bordered ribbon. It's really pretty, and I just want you to see it looks really good with this blueberry bushel paper because it's not just one color of blue. It's called Night of Navy, but it picks up the blueberry bushel, looks really nice. Or the ribbon looks really nice with blueberry bushel. And this one I think is kind of boho blue. It picks up all the different blues. It's not just one tone, so it's a very nice ribbon. It's kind of got a denim feel to it. You know how denim seems to go with everything for some reason. Just gonna tie a little bow. On here. Grab my scissors. And we'll just give it a little angle cut. And pop this away. Bring this down here. We'll grab some tear and tape. Just kind of decide this way it looks a little bit better. So I'm going to come on here on the back side and I'm going to put tear and tape on the loops. It has a little bit more surface area than just a mini glue dot, and since this is a big bow, it's a little bit more weighty than just a tiny piece of ribbon. So I want to make sure that it's not going to come off my card. And then we'll just add that up top on this boho blue circle. It's kind of cute, right? And then we'll come in with these sequins. Oh, no way to silence my phone. Where is my phone? Let me make it silent. There we go. You either have your phone silent and then you miss things that you need, or you have it beeping inappropriately at the wrong time. You just can never get it right. All right, so these are the pastel adhesive back sequins. And you can use the small or the large. I'm going to use the large. And yes, these are not the exact same shade of blue as everything on here. But once you put it on your card, it just sparkles. You can see my sequins on there because they kind of blend with the background paper. My goal with these sequins is not to have them stand out like a sore thumb. I just want them to kind of shimmer and catch the light. I'm just trying to decide where to put them. They'll be different on each card that you do because of the spacing. But what happens then is when you hold them up to the light, they add a little bit of shimmer, and that reinforces that, you know, this is where you need to look, right? You need to focus on this beautiful image of the bird and the flowers and the spring flowers and all that happiness, right? And then you've got your little greeting right here that says thank you. Now, if you didn't want to do thank you, I did grab like a happy birthday that I could have added onto here too. So let me grab that stamp set. So I was looking for, it's nice to have a birthday greeting that is stacked like this instead of long, because if it's long, then you'll have to cut it in half, or you'll have to stamp the top and bottom like this if you want it to fit in a circle, right? So instead of using the circle that I used, I had to go like one up, and then that one will cut out the happy birthday. So you can easily turn this into whatever size card, like greeting you want. I went with the thank you because the original card had a smaller greeting and this one was a little bit larger. But you probably have a lot of happy birthday stamps in your arsenal if you've been stamping for a while. So look through your collection and find a happy birthday that's stacked if you want to do like a circular greeting. And this just looks nice too, right? Like either one looks really good. And that's all there is to it. Just a bunch of beautiful paper. And each card's going to look a little different depending on where you cut your circle. I've got the bird down here on one, the bird up here on this one. And you don't have to use this paper. All the paper has birds on the back. So you choose which birds you like the best, and then just cut that out for your focal point layer. So that is my card, and I can't wait to see what you do with all of those circles. This is just my idea. Use that designer series paper, lean right into it, and enjoy that. So let me just think, what do I need to talk about? I already talked about celebration, so don't forget, right now, if you order in February, you're going to get rewarded by Stampin' Up! For every $50 or $100 you spend. There's no limit if you're spending, $100 or $200 or even just $50. You will earn rewards for every amount. It all has to be on one order though. So you can't spend $25 at the beginning of February and then $25 at the end of February. You won't get rewarded that way from Stampin' Up! But so make sure all of that is on one order so that you can earn your reward. All right. I know someone, I glanced over and someone said, please don't forget to give Brenda a thumbs up. I really appreciate that if you do that, or leave me a comment, or just subscribe to my channel. That really helps me too. It helps me be seen by other people, and I really appreciate that. So thank you for everyone who has done that in the past and is doing it in the future. Thank you. I appreciate you. All right, let's go and let's say hi to you. Let's find out how you're doing today. Good morning, Marty. And she loves the paper. It's the first thing I got from Celebration. Yeah, I think it was one of the first things I got too. It was on my list right away. Hello, Connie from Denmark. Nice to have you here. Hello, Pat. Hello, Mary and Deirdre and Geraldine. Hi, Geraldine. I'm glad you're joining me. Geraldine just joined my team. She was a past bee stamper and she joined my team recently. So yay! She's my newest team member. So hello, I'm glad you're here today. I should mention the starter kit. Let me just mention that briefly before I go on. The starter kit is also a celebration special. It is $99 and it is an awesome deal because you think, okay, I'm just going to waste $99. No, you're not. You're going to get $125 worth of product for that $99. So it's like you're placing an order, you have $99 and you've just boosted yourself into more money. Then as a celebration reward for the starter kit, you get to choose between two options. One of them is a glass mat studio. It's a glass mat with a silicone mat that can go on top plus a chamois to clean off your mat. That is option one. You can choose that as your add-on. Or you can choose to have option B, which is $30 more in product. So if you choose option B, instead of $125 worth of product, you are now getting $155 worth of product for $99. And the starter kit ships for free. So it is an awesome deal. And then you will tap into the Stampin' Up! Family and all your future orders are 20% off. So if you're ordering a lot anyway, or you have just a big order of at least like $100, then this is a really great time to get the starter kit, and the special ends at the end of February. So I'll just point that out. If you want more information, just go to cubiesquest.com/join, and there's a direct link so that you can just order your starter kit right away, or if you want to ask me any questions, please feel free. I'm always happy to answer questions about the starter kit. I got the starter kit 18 years ago in January. It was during Celebration. It's a really good time to get the starter kit. I think most people, like maybe not most people, but since we do Celebration every single year, there's always a join special during Celebration. I think it's a time when a lot of people join Stampin' Up! I don't know what the percentage is of people that joined during that time, but it is really big. And so you often find people like me who have their anniversaries in January or February. All right, I'm going to pop that away. And let's keep going. Hello, Nancy. Good morning. And hello to Denise and Ellie from sunny Connecticut. Hey, Ellie, we finally have sunshine, hey? It's really nice. Now, I'm not in Connecticut, but we're close. I live in the Boston area, so whatever she's getting, I'm also going to get probably. Hello, Birgit from Germany. And hello, Holly. And she says she loves the designer series paper I used today. Good morning, Deborah. And Deborah also has a sunny day in Virginia Beach. How nice. Hello, Kristen from Colorado. And Kristen says she likes all the circles. I have lots of circle die sets, even retired ones I have held on to because it's very hard to freehand cut a really nice circle. So circle dies are something that I actually keep because there's so much you can do with circles. And these ones are great because they've got the little stitching around them. Some of my older ones have scallops. They're just really great for crafting purposes. Nancy says, don't forget to give a thumbs up. Thank you, Nancy. Good morning, Tina. Kristen says, thumbs up done. Thank you, Kristen. Tina is from Maryland, and she says, cute card. And there's another Mary. We always have a good selection of Marys on my lives. I love that. Mary from Indiana. Marty said this would be a good card design if you need lots of cards. Yes, because you can pick a designer series paper, pick your layout, and then just go to town and make them. Linda says, hello, Brenda. I rarely catch you on Tuesday on my way to my sister's home and saw your notification. Love this paper. Thank you. I'm glad you're with us today, Linda. I know you watch the replay sometimes, so I'm glad you get a chance to watch me live for once. Kristen says she loves a good embossing folder. That's a great pattern on the one that you use. I gravitate towards these. Where did my embossing folder go? It's just probably in my pile. Aha, right here. This one's a good one because it's a good overall pattern and it's very subtle, so it's going to go with anything. You can do it with whatever you have. It can go with florals, it can go with masculine cards. It's just a good overall pattern, and because everything's on the diagonal, it doesn't draw your eye in any crazy direction. It is a bit of a crazy pattern, but it's a very subtle pattern, and it does help break up a really blank surface, like so something that is really plain. It just adds a teeny tiny bit of interest to it, so it just kind of enhances the overall card without overtaking the card. We never want to overtake a card, but embossing folders are good for that anyway. Janine says, I'm not seeing the live notifications. Oh, I'm sorry, Janine. I'm social media is really hit and miss with how things are getting notified. So I apologize for that, but it's very out of control with social media. You're at the mercy of the social media gods and whatever algorithms they're playing on, using or experimenting on us in any particular day or week. Mary says, pretty card. Thank you and have a great day. Well, thank you, Mary. I hope you have a great day too. Laura says, hello. Cindy says, good morning, Brenda and everyone from Everett, Washington. And she's off to a doctor's appointment, so I hope it's a good one, and I hope it's just a wellness check. Janine says, pretty card. Tina says, cute cards. Denise says, very pretty. Good way to show off a variety of designer series paper. It is. And Kristen agrees. And Tina sends me a bunch of hearts. Well, thank you. And thank you so much for joining me today. I have not yet decided what my Friday project will be, but I can't wait to design it. I love designing 3D, or I don't know if I'll do some fancy fold cards. I do have some fancy folds I do want to share with people, so I might do like a fancy fold Friday. So we'll see what my mood is later this week and see what I do. But it's going to be a good Friday. Fun Friday always has some really either a 3D or something fun that's like a little bit out of the ordinary. All right, everyone, I hope you have a great week. I hope the sun shines down and smiles upon you. And I hope to see some of you on Friday. Take care, everyone. Bye-bye.